There we go. Hey everybody, happy to see you guys all back here. If you guys caught the midday stream, awesome. If this is your first stream of the day, happy to see you guys back as well. I still got a little bit of a tickle in my throat from COVID, so I'm going to do my best to get over that today. But if you see me take like a cool 5-second break from talking or something like that, just to kind of chug some water, don't be alarmed. I'm still going to be able to talk, but I'm going to take it nice and slow until I'm back up to like, normal talking levels. Okay. But happy to see everybody back. Hey, Shane. Hey, Max Power Square Bagels. Happy to see you guys back. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. This stream will probably go till about 7:30, 8 o'clock my time. It's about an hour and a half. So, and hey, Shane, what do you think about Luna Classic? Think it'll reach $1 by 2024? Luna Classic? What's the price of Luna Classic? That's Luna C. No, probably not. I mean, here, let me just go right here very fast. Good old coinmarketcap.com. No, it's already at a $2.6 billion market cap. No, this isn't going to reach $1. As far as Luna or Luna Classic, I think of them as complete memes. I think of them as like an AMC GameStop where you can hold on to them, make some money, have some fun with it. But I would not put a large amount of my capital into it because of any fundamentals or anything they're really trying to achieve in the background. This is going to be something you put some money into YOLO and have some fun. This isn't going to be something where you, like, in my opinion, legitimately try to make some money out of it. The risk is just a little bit too high. If you want to hop into it, the best thing I could usually say is just buy and hold and have a stop loss and just see what happens with it. I've been trading for about 5 years now, and I will always make more money trading the more boring stocks and cryptocurrencies out there than I will on these ones that kind of have really parabolic moves. Even with all the money I made from Dogecoin over the last couple of years, it pales in comparison to how much money I made just by doing trades on Bitcoin or Ethereum or trading Matic, right? I made more money with Matic alone than I did with Dogecoin, and I bought Dogecoin like at 0.0024%. So you could plop some money down there if you want to. I would probably say if you want to hop into this one, best thing you could do most likely here is just going to be to dollar cost average, probably wait for a crash, and then hope for some money to be made here. Like what I did with Luna is I bought some and I'm just holding. That's all I'm doing with it, is holding. I mean, I bought this a long time ago when it first opened up. So I bought it right around here, right? Bought some here, average down, just for some fun of it. Had a big old pop, so I frankly just stopped buying it. But like, I don't know, my position right now, actually no, it's probably the average is probably a little bit higher than that. But that's up like 514%. It's awesome, don't get me wrong, but it's just something I feel like I'm just gonna hold on to. And I only popped in like $100, so it is not a lot of money at all and invested in this one right now. So there's money to be made for sure, but this, eventually this thing is gonna crash back down, and then that's when you're most likely gonna want to buy back into this if you want to have an opportunity, because again, this thing, it's already at a $2.6 billion valuation, 2.6 billion. That's pretty darn crazy if you think about it, for all the bad stuff that's happened to this over the past few months. It's not really something I want to put much money behind for the long term. I just want to see if people can YOLO into it. But at a $2.6 billion valuation, it makes it really hard for me to want to hold this thing for a very, very long time with a lot of capital behind it. This is more like throw a couple quarters at it and see where it goes. Now, if this had a market cap of like a few hundred million, yeah, maybe I'd feel confident about tossing $100 in there. But right now at a $2.6 billion valuation, it doesn't meet my needs here. Like a couple months ago when I started buying it, like right over here, see, hundreds of millions of market cap. You just kind of buy it and you just kind of let it sit. And then when it gets into the billions, you're looking pretty darn good. So that's how I normally trade this stuff. But I'd be very, very careful. I don't really recommend that people trade that stuff too much. If you're gonna trade it, you trade it in and out real fast, maybe a few days, maybe a week at the most. But if you want to have some fun and just do a YOLO, you can always just let it sit there for a while. But just be careful. It's not going to go to $1. It's not going to go to $1 though. That's for sure. And the market cap is just too high at this point. Let's see. So here. And hey, like, do you think the bottom isn't already? I don't think we've seen Bitcoin's bottom just yet. I think over the next few weeks here, so what you guys are looking at right now is, so this is the Bitcoin daily chart with the 20-week moving average and the 200-week moving average. So weekly moving averages, and then you're looking at a daily chart, okay? What we're looking at pretty soon, which I think is going to be so crazy and important for all of us to kind of pay attention to, is this. Pretty soon we're about to have a major death cross here. Let me just go to the weekly chart so you guys can see what I'm talking about. We're about to have a massive death cross for the first time in Bitcoin's history. So I guess the best thing to do is go over here since I need longer moving averages. There we go. All right. There we go. All right. So you guys can see this green line right here, this yellow line. Going back in history here, no matter what bear market or bad market we had, it's never broken down below the yellow line. Even back over here, 2019, never broken down. Go back over here to 2015, never broke down. Got close, but never broke down. This is going to be Bitcoin's first death cross ever with the 20-week moving average crossing below the 200. I don't know exactly how the market's going to react to that, but I do know this is going to be a massive level of resistance for us because, you know, that's just the way moving averages work, right? Now, we haven't had a 50-week moving average cross down below the 200 either, but from what I'm looking at here, that's still weeks and weeks and weeks away, though, so I'm not going to give it too much credence right now. That's looking like 2023 April if we are going to have that death cross there. But here, let me zoom just a little bit for you. What's going to happen over the next 3 to 6 weeks, let's just kind of give it a little bit of a ballpark area here. What's going to happen over the next 3 to 6 weeks is if I go back over here to this first Bitcoin chart that's not as cluttered. There we go. You're going to see Bitcoin get squeezed between a resistance level and a support level here. Now that support level, for all practical purposes, because I want to give her like the most leeway to it as I can, is going to be the lows we experienced all the way back over here from June. So that support level is around $17,622. The resistance, which we're going to try to break out above, is going to be this 20-week moving average here. That's the big goal right now. We don't know if we're going to get rejected and come back down to the $14,000 level somewhere down here. Let's just say $15,000 right there. We may pop up, get rejected, then come back down. We may just come back down. Probably not just going to come screaming back down. We don't have the market for that just yet. So that's what it looks like right now. At this point in time, if you're going to be doing anything, you're probably going to be loading up on coins at this moment in time, hoping that we can actually have some type of double bottom over the next few weeks. So bottom, bottom. You see the neckline up here. Try to chug back up here, and then, you know, get more cautious as we approach the 20 week moving average here, and also the 200 weekly moving average, because that'll be crossing up above as well right there. But most likely here, you're going to be buying, anticipating us getting back up towards $22,000. And then from $22,000, you're most likely going to want to start selling out around there, unless you're hoping for a larger pop from the Bitcoin's prices here. So we don't really have a good bottom just yet here. We got to wait to see if we actually manage to hold this level here, or if we actually come all the way back down to 17,622. But once we find a bottom, then we can start doing some Fibonacci extension levels here and see how fast this thing may be able to get back up to, let's call it $22,000. We might be able to get to 23,200 or so, but I'm a little bit more worried about that one. So this is it's way up here. Yeah. I'd be cautiously optimistic. I'd be okay buying at these levels, but only a small amount. Otherwise, I'm waiting for us to break down big down here, or I'm waiting for us to pop back up so I can open up some shorts and make some money on the way down there. But at this point in time, we're just waiting for the big squeeze. One of the reasons I thought that September was going to be a really bad month for crypto is because I'm anticipating the squeeze happening and us being on the bad side of it. So us breaking down here. If we're lucky, we may actually break out from here and then kind of consolidate a little bit more. One of my reasonings for that here is as you guys know, we've been talking about the Nasdaq a little bit. I can just open up the Nasdaq here. So here's the 200 weekly moving average, and you guys are looking at the monthly chart. So monthly chart, 200 weekly moving average. Well, best to go over here. We're still above the 200 weekly moving average now. Excuse me. We're trying to figure out if we have bounced off of this or if we're just coming close to bouncing off of this. And what I mean by a bounce is over the last two times we've actually broken down below this 200 weekly moving average. You guys know by now that it was just, it wasn't a good time. We broke down below it, really bad time. Broke down below it. It was just a very, very bad time, right? Well, historically, let me go to the weekly chart here. When we actually do break down below it, there's a period of time where we actually come full into contact with the 200 weekly moving averages here. So you can see we break down below it. We don't close down below it, but we break down below it. We bounce back up on the weekly chart, and then eventually on the as we come back down, then we officially break down. Once we close down below it, all hell breaks loose, and it's just a really, really bad time. Same thing over here. Happened a little bit faster, of course, but we hit it. We broke down below it, bounced back up, came back down, and then boom, we really started, shit started to hit the fan, so to speak, right? So what we're trying to figure out now, and we'll have an idea here pretty soon, is, was this the bounce even though we didn't come into contact with it? Or do we have to come back down again, bounce off of it, and then come back down later on, and then we actually have a big crashing and burning of the market? Because depending on how this acts, that's going to be a big signal for Bitcoin. We could see Bitcoin go back down to, let's just say, 17,900. So not back to the lows, but still making some type of higher low here. Consolidate, make our way back up, actually have a breakout above that 20-week moving average here, right? Have a breakout, and then really start to chug back up, maybe even as far as like 27,000, 28,000. And then we come back down, and then we really start having a big crash down to $14,000 later on, in 2023, if that's when the recession that everybody keeps on talking about actually hits. So there's a few different opportunities there for us. I'm really keeping an eye on the Nasdaq, though. If the Nasdaq does close below it on the weekly chart, it's going to lead to some really bad things happening. There's a few patterns that we never like to see happen, and the Nasdaq breaking down below the 200 weekly moving average is certainly something you guys don't want to see happen. That's just bad for the 401ks, bad for everybody. Nobody will actually enjoy that except for people like to trade puts like me. As you guys know, I love to trade puts. All right, but let's go back over here. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. We can keep this. I can keep this on the 15-minute chart right here. This GAN-FAN level is supposed to be down just a little bit. I don't know why it's not down the right way, but it's supposed to be like right here, I think. I'll keep it there for now. Just no. Let me keep it back to where it was. There we go. But yeah, there we go. And probably Bitcoin 15-minute chart right there. We'll keep it on the 5. And somebody's trying to short Bitcoin right now. It doesn't look too bad though. It's like an hour and a half since the day started, and we're down about $100. It's not crazy bad. Not too bad. All right. Ethereum coming down here is a little bit as well, hitting that resistance level. 4 hour. Yeah, I got rejected off it. Oh, but we can break above it. We can break it above it again. Okie dokie though. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. I want to do more technical analysis than talking today. If you guys heard me talking after the first stream of the day here. What's right here? And hey, D's, happy to see you back, my man. Hey, Rocky. If the trading volume stays in the billions, almost 1 trillion Luna can be burned a month, just the 1% 2 tax for trading. I mean, that could possibly happen if the volume keeps up there. Usually what happens is they pump up for a bit of time and they come crashing back down. If they can kind of go against the grain there and go against history and actually just stay with the high volume for an extended period of time, you can definitely see that having an impact on the price. I just don't think it's enough to bring it up to $1 at this point in time. That would take it to like hundreds of billions of market cap, I think, which is going to be very, very hard to do at this point in time in this market, right? There's not enough people right now, if you ask me, who have money to throw away on a coin to make themselves potentially rich. where like during COVID, the government was giving you money to gamble with practically. Heck, I wasn't even eligible, but I wanted some money just to toss around there. I ended up just playing. What did I do with you guys? Oh, I traded some options live, and I made like $1,500, and I was like, "This is my government stimulus check," because what was it? I didn't qualify for government aid. I was, I guess, out of the tax bracket or something. See, which could reach at 0.01 first, Luna or Sheeb? Whichever one has the less zeros. That's literally the answer to that one. Sheeb is, 4 zeros. Luna is 4 zeros. Lunacy then. Lunacy just has a lower market cap than Sheeb then, if they're the same zeros here. So it'd be Lunacy. Anyone to space KDA long term? As far as the chart, KDA is fine. I'd be looking to buy it for a while. As far as the company, I haven't looked at KDA in a while. I have some KDA, but not much, like honestly, not much at all. Let's see. $296 million market cap. Awesome, nice and cheap. I haven't looked at this in a long time. See. So Web 2 companies helping out Web 2 and Web 3 companies. We just developed venture fund. Food security, smart, okay. I can be an ambassador. I want to be an ambassador. I mean, I think it's fine. I think I invested like $1,000 into it, so I'm hoping for it to make some money down the road. But no, I've only invested $500 into it, and I have another $500 ready to go if Bitcoin takes another drop down to 14,000. But yes, I think it is worth holding for the long term. I think they're doing fine. I think I remember looking at their social media too. They're doing fine. But for me, the only problem I have for them is I want to see them. I don't know how you want to say this, but be more influential in the industry. I want them to kind of have a sassy person that talks a lot on social media that kind of gets people hyped up about it, like a little bit of a cult following that I like to see from some of the coins I invest in. But I don't think that's going to be a problem anytime soon. I think it's more of a problem, or they should figure it out before the next bull run happens. So I still like it long term, though. A low market cap, good growth potential, even though it's over $1. That's why I didn't invest more, just because it was over $1. But it can still make a lot of money. Let's see. And hey, D's, yeah, we can't see the bottom yet, but at least I got that big head and shoulders already forming. Now just holding on. I mean, we'll see how it all pans out. I think it's really going to be important going back to the Nasdaq. What happens as we approach the 200 weekly here? I mean, that's going to be crucial. We already have the 50 week coming down. We're about to have a death cross there on the 100 weekly moving average. That's not something I'm too concerned about, to be frank, because I think we went back in time into this a few times where the 50 crossed below the 200. When did the last time it happened? Yeah, it happened right here, 50 crossing the 100. That, I mean, we did have a drop while that was happening, but I think it just happened a little bit afterwards. I would be using the breakdown below the 200 moving average way more than just looking at the 50 week moving average crossing below the 200 weekly moving average, or the 100 weekly moving average here. See you guys. Even going back over here, like it happened right here, well after the drop, so I don't put too much stock into it. But yeah, if we can just stay above this 200 weekly moving average, I think the market will be fine. Everything will be peachy. We may have some choppiness back and forth. Sorry, guys, I'm not comfortable in this chair right now. I don't know why. Probably, I was just sitting in traffic for like the last 2 hours. That's why. I had to get Loki dog food with those accidents on the road. But yeah, if we can stay above that 200 weekly moving average right here, guys, we're fine. There'll be choppiness. There'll be some bad times, but we'll be fine. The moment the weekly candle closes down below this level, that's when you have to be very, very afraid about what's going on. My concern right now is is this from a purely technical standpoint, not the economy, not Jerome Powell with Federal Reserve, nothing with that, nothing like that, okay? This is my concern, is that the Nasdaq over the next few weeks will find a way to come back down here and retest this level. And let's say it doesn't even come into contact with the 200 weekly moving average. Let's just say it comes down about another 7-8% or so, okay? We come back down, we make some type of higher low, and then let's say even afterwards we find a way to chug back up, maybe, okay? The problem I have with this right now is if Bitcoin handle the Nasdaq dropping 8%? If Bitcoin drops 8% because the Nasdaq drops 8%, well, 8% is actually like below this level of support here, which means that'd be a full-on go for Bitcoin to actually start tanking back down here until this isn't the right chart for us to be looking at. Is it this one, this one, this one, and this one? Yeah, there we go. Where we start breaking down below this Ganfin level right here, we come back into this buying zone where we have support levels around 17,811 all the way down here to 16,353. We can find a way to come back down here, then maybe bounce around for a little bit. That may be helpful. But if the Nasdaq does actually come back down there, let me just open up a new chart here, make my life a lot easier. Load layout. Let's go for tutorials for channel. And let's go right here to the Nazi. There we go. If we end up coming back down here and maybe we form a double bottom here, then try to break out and have a nice little rally, maybe. I don't think Bitcoin's going to stay above that 17,600 support level that we had from all the way back over here in June. I don't think we hold that. So that's the big thing everybody's waiting for right now. Currently, you guys can see we broke down below the Fibonacci circle here. We've had a pretty good resistance level on it today, actually just tapping exactly on it. And we're just hoping that by the end of the week, let's go to the weekly chart here, we can close back above this and then also stay above this Ganfin level. I think I'm more concerned about this Ganfin level right here. If we break down below that and close, we're probably going to have a few weeks of just going back down at least until we either hit 16,200 or all the way down here on $15,000. And maybe we can have a bounce off before trying to retest like $15,000, $14,000. But until then, let's see what the market can do, because we have this safety net here. Bitcoin has this safety net, even though it's the Nasdaq. So that does give us a little bit of hope here, as well as the dollar index trying to level off a little bit. That could give us a short-term boost. As you guys know, this is the weekly chart for the dollar index. We've had some nice pumps, relax, up, downs, up, downs, up. We could be looking at a down here fairly soon, and that'd be just what Bitcoin needs to kind of steady itself and then try to do a short-term reversal here. Again, you guys know me, I'm still bearish on all charts, all stocks, Bitcoin, crypto, everything. I'm still very, very bearish on everything. But we do have that support level there, and we are getting closer to that support level, so that may give us a little bit of room to make some money here. All right, let's go back over here to the 15. Let's go back over to this one. There we go. All right. Excuse me, guys. I'm still getting over COVID. I'm going to take a sip of water here. Oh, man. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys, but I'm not going to overdo myself on the streams right now. And hey, Shannon and Kelly, thank you very, very much for joining the Sapphire level. Let me know if you have any questions whatsoever, and I'd be happy to help you out. Any questions whatsoever. If you remember, you get all of your questions answered, and I really do mean that. Excuse me. Let's see. Hey, Rocky, when I asked you this afternoon when you should take profit, I actually meant what is your buy and sell? I'm not, well, I've already opened up shorts. I haven't closed all my shorts left yet, but I scale out. So I scale out a position. So I don't just have a buy out position. And all of us have a price target. So Rocky, every time you make a trade, you have to have your buy, like your target price, your scale out levels, all of that stuff already known before you make the trade. So if I go over here to that free trading journal that I gave to you guys a while ago, oh, I haven't looked it up in a minute here. Mine's on Excel. Trading tutorials, budgets, low market cap plays, recent. Is it? Okay, here it is. Okay, so when you make a trade, let me zoom in here, I guess, a little bit as well. Damn, this is already at 250% zoomed in. So you're going to know what your buy date is and your sell date. Probably you're going to know your buy date, not your sell date. Ticker, you're going to know how many shares you want to open up before you make the trade, right? You're going to like, how much do I want? Leverage, you're going to know that. You're going to have a price target. You're going to figure out your opening price, like riders do. It might be a few cents above your what you hope to buy until you enter that in there. You're going to have your stop loss already known, your closing price most likely known because of the scale outs. You're going to have profit loss and then total profit loss and all that good stuff and taxes and all that stuff then for your setups. But you're going to know all that stuff before you actually open up the trade. You're not just going to buy because I buy. You're going to want to buy because there's actually something to be trading there. Like a major level of resistance. Like, actually, I have it set up from earlier today. You guys know I have, which one is this? This one? There we go. So on the screen, you see the two ones that made the most profit for me on those options plays I gave the members a few weeks ago was Apple at 244% profit average. One options was 205%. The other was 283% profit. NVIDIA was up 1,000% profit. The reasons that I ended up opening those trades here, which is the important thing, is this. So if I go over here, actually let's keep this one. Let's open this chart. Let's go over here to YouTube breakouts. Let's go to Apple. I guess we'll be fine. Okay. Now, do that. Okay. So for Apple, it was actually a very easy reason for me to open up these shorts here, right? Or these puts, excuse me. All you gotta do is say, hey, there's some resistance up here. Look at that. I'm opening puts because I think we're going to be going down and getting rejected and start heading back down, right? That was the basic premise here of why I started buying these options. Now, I bought these options right here, this day and this day. My personal options I ended up buying on this Friday. For my paper trading account, which I share with you guys, I ended up buying them this day. So there were 3 days where where my options were red. And then, of course, boom, there we go. This was the moneymaker move. And then, started making more and more money here. But the whole point of this was a basic, hey, we're pretty high up here. This is a good opportunity to start opening puts. And boom, here we go, right? And then Jerome Powell talking. That was part of my premise as well here. And then, of course, you could have added other stuff in here probably. Let me see, like over here. There we go. See, hit the Fibonacci extension level right here. Let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. Hit the Fibonacci extension. Another opportunity for resistance to be breaking back down here. So that was kind of cool because you can see how normally we hit some resistance levels up here. But, so that's why I opened up the position. Where you start scaling out of your positions is based off of your support levels here. And each trade has their own support level. So if I go over here to Apple, right? Pivot point right here, that could have been a first scale out level. Down here, this could have been a scale out level. You see how we stopped, we had a reversal, then we started coming back down. That could have been another scale out level if you wanted to do it that way. But it's all up to you to determine when you actually want to sell, when you want to buy. I usually will short or open up puts around major levels of resistance, and I will buy during major levels of support. And then I'll also be trading off of patterns. So if I see a breakdown or a breakout, that's also another reason for me to open up a trade there. But right now we're back into no man's land, so there's not really many trades I'd recommend you guys actually be taking. The only ones right now are most likely in crypto as we wait to see if Bitcoin can form that double bottom that we've been talking about there. Let's see. And hey, D's, I don't mind having a low price. I am a cheap coin connoisseur these days. I mean, I think we all are a cheap coin connoisseur. We all like having those low market caps. Heck, if we go back over here to coinmarketcap.com, just go to page like 4, or let's just go to page 5. If you go to page 5, you're already in $44 million market cap. That's how low everything has gotten over the past few weeks. And if we go over here, let me zoom in just a tad for you guys. Can I move this over a little bit? Oh, it's moving that over. We don't really have to worry about the price too much, do we? My point being this: over the last 60 days, what Divya is down 43%, Jix is down 3%, Onus is up 6%. That's kind of nice to see. DKA is down 11, down 10, down 15, down 9, up 41. You know, most stuff is pretty much down here, down 60%. And these are going to be all really fun things you can buy down the road, of course. Not so much right now, but, you know, there's tons of coins out there having some really crazy moves. But like, even if you actually go to what, let's say page number 3 of coinmarketcap.com. So, you know, Hex, Wrapped Tron, Terra Classic is at these levels, right? You can see some of these are going like big booms, right? Like, especially over the past few days for Terra Classic. But, you know, there's going to be a lot of money to be made by buying a lot of these coins at low market caps here. I don't know what's going on with Safe Moon here. Looks like it had a little bit of a pop. I think Safe Moon was a scam last time I heard about it, but it's still looking okay, so that might be okay. But I'm not trading it. But yeah, so buying low market cap coins and just in general cheap coins, they're going to make you a lot of money down the road, and it's okay to be picky on them, that's for sure. Right, somebody's trying to hold us up. I was about to say, yeah, why are they trying to hold up that point? But there we go. We're seeing a little bit of a pump going up right here for Bitcoin as it tries to make its way back up to maybe 19,250 or something like that. Let's see. And hey, Rocky, I mean, if you're struggling to like trade, the easiest thing I could ever tell you is don't trade with real capital right now unless you're just dollar costing averaging for the long term, which will probably take about a year or 2 years at this point to get back up to like some really good levels. What you're most likely going to want to do here is open up a paper trading account. If you're trying to trade stocks, go through TD Ameritrade. If you're trying to trade crypto, I have a Femex link and that you can actually have fake portfolios, and it's really cool. But you're going to find a crypto exchange if you're just looking for crypto. Once you open up that crypto exchange here, you're going to order a couple books online or watch a couple YouTube videos, and you're going to understand what charts are, what candle bars are, RSIs, indicators, moving averages, oscillators, Fibonacci levels, Fibonacci Ganfan levels, Fibonacci extensions, Fibonacci retracements, Elliott waves. If you want to go down that path, you don't really have to learn about Elliott waves. It's not too useful. You know, other tools if you want to learn them. Level 2 data if you're going into the stock market. Economics, fundamentals, 10K reports if you're going into the stock market. If you want to learn for fundamentals and long-term trades. You're going to want to slowly start to establish some information, just kind of getting your vocabulary squared away. And then from there, you're going to start learning how to understand patterns. And this could be candlestick patterns. I usually just prefer chart patterns like, ooh, do I have a chart pattern here? Let me see. No. Okay, sure. Let's just do that. Where... Media. Oh gosh, I haven't had to do this in a minute. Desktop. YouTube photos, stock, no YouTube files, patterns. There we go. Okay. Hey Loki, how you doing? You're gonna want to learn how to trade these patterns, and then what you're gonna do is, remember this trading journal I showed you a few minutes ago where I had like a whole bunch of lists and stuff like that? What you're going to be doing after that is you're going to start recording every single trade you do. And then when you make a good trade, you're going to write some notes about why it was a good trade. When you make a bad trade, you're going to figure out what went wrong. And then after you've done about, let's say a 200 or so, you probably want to do like 500 honestly, but let's just say you want to do fast. After you've done about 200 fake paper trades with fake money, and you have some data behind you, you're going to see which trades the data says you are more successful on. So let's say you're very successful on this bottom left-hand corner, you're very successful at rectangle trades, or in the top left-hand corner, continuation trades with a pennant or a symmetrical triangle, whatever you want to call it. If you're very successful on those, then you could actually, and the data says you are successful on those, what I would say is you can actually put some money behind those trades on real capital, real trades, okay? And then you're going to see how you behave on those trades as well. And if you're making money consistently with real money investments, because your emotions are going to change as you go from paper money to real money, what's going to end up happening is you're going to use all that data to make more informed trades and more informed positions, and you're going to use that data to kind of fine tune your trades. So for me personally, looking at all these pictures, about 60% of all the money I make when it comes to trading comes from pennants, right? Pennants and triangles usually. A little bit, but not really much, comes from cup and handles. Like only a small amount comes from cup and handles. And those are usually day trades, not swing trades. Inverse head and shoulders, hardly ever do I make money off of those. Head and shoulders, I make a lot of money off of those, but only in every few months, basically. There's like one head and shoulders every few months, and that's usually a big winner for me, so that's where the money comes from. Double bottoms, double tops, quite frequently, you can make some money there. Flags, you can make some good money there trading. But like I know my own strengths, the weaknesses. My weaknesses, I mean, it's not really a pattern as my weakness. It's a specific stock. So you'll learn which stocks or which crypto coins you suck at trading. I suck at trading Tesla, even though I still do it. So, you know, I still make consistent profits trading Tesla, but I'm not as consistent as I am with Apple. Apple is my best. I am the most successful when I trade Apple. Apple is my bread and butter play when I like to trade. It's Apple. For crypto, it's Ethereum. Ethereum is easy. It's more volatile. You make more money faster. So you're in and out of the market much quicker than if you are in Bitcoin. So a good example of this may just be go over here. You look at YouTube. Go to Ethereum. Let's go to a 4-hour chart. Yesterday, you buy the breakout, you know, within 16 hours, you've made 10%, while with Bitcoin, you know, let's just go from here, you know, 20 hours, you're up 5%. Ethereum is better for me, and that's why I like it. But you got to go through that whole process. It's like a totally grueling process. It's not fun by any stretch of the imagination, but it's good to see what you suck at and what you're good at, because when you're first starting to trade, frankly, you're gonna suck. And that's kind of just the way it is, unfortunately. However, you're not going to suck forever as long as you try to improve. And while you're improving with paper trading, you're not spending money learning how to trade. You're using that money to dollar cost average, or you're just continuing to save up money, maybe having a low interest account and a saving on a bank account or whatever, or a CD or whatever it may be, something really low interest. But my point being that that's kind of the process of becoming a full-time trader. It's kind of grueling. It's very, very boring. It's very, very dry. You'll be reading books. You'll be reading documents you don't even want to read. But you will find a usefulness down the road. And then once you become a full-time trader, once you start making consistent profits, you can start to forget the stuff you might not use. So one of my friends is a swing trader. He doesn't make as much money as me, but he kind of supplements his income at work. And he also he makes like $60,000 a year off of trading, and his day job only pays him like $50,000. So he's still making quite a bit of good money there, right? But he only swing trades. He doesn't do any long-term investing. He doesn't care for that because it doesn't make money fast enough for him. So when I was helping him learn how to trade, I would teach him how to go over to, FinViz, go over to Google's website. Oops, Alphabet Inc. Right. Go to investors, and I would teach him how to open up. I don't know for this one where we would be looking at. Which one do we want to open up here? I mean, for us, let's just go to 10K. I think most of you guys have heard me say 10K more than the 10Qs and stuff like that. But how to read a 10K report, which kind of goes over everything the company is doing, but it also adds in what the company is doing in the company's own words. So, you can go all the way down here, how to read all this. It's a lot of dry stuff, but this is some of the stuff that you may learn when you're first starting off and you want to learn how to be a well-rounded trader. And then over time, as you kind of find your niche within the system, you will just say like, wow, I don't actually want to read this. I want to go have a life. You can definitely just go do that and leave this in the wind. I know plenty of people that do. But I also manage my own 401k and my own Roth IRA. So I like being able to see what's going on here. And it's not like you have to read the whole thing. You might just start looking at financial statements and supplementary data, right? And then from here, let's go to notes to consolidated financial statements, right? And then from here, you can see what they're using, why they're saying why stuff is good, why stuff is bad. Other Google revenues, Google Play, which includes sales of apps and in-app purchases and digital content sold on the Google Play Store, right? YouTube non-advertising, which is YouTube Premium, YouTube TV subscriptions. You can kind of see how they structured everything out here, because usually advertising is something completely different from like a YouTube Premium or something like that. For the years ended in December 31st, 2019, 2021, advertising and promotional expenses totaled approximately $6.8 billion, $5.4 billion, and $7.9 billion respectively, right? And of course, it dipped down because of COVID during 2020. But that's how much they spent on advertising, billions and billions of dollars. So there's a whole bunch of stuff you can get into if you want to read it. You don't have to, but literally every company has a 10K report, or you can go into 10Qs if you want to, but those are quarterly. This is a fiscal year 10K. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff you will probably never want to know or never need to know, but you probably will learn it. But the big thing is learn how to trade patterns, learn how to set up your charts properly, learn how to use proper indicators, and you should be fine. But you gotta take some time to really hone in on what you're good at and what you're bad at. The best way to do that is to start paper trading and not actually spending your money at first. I lost like maybe $5,000 to $10,000 before I became a decent trader, not even a good full-time trader, but just a decent trader. Why waste that money when you really don't have to? And you don't have to waste that money learning. Might as well just learn how to paper trade first. Let's see. And hey, Daily Double G. And hey, Bulldog Trading, happy to see you guys back. I'm curious what the bottom is on Bitcoin DCA today. Who isn't going to buy Bitcoin at these prices? So I've started the dollar cost average again. You guys know that over the past few days, because I saw that Bitcoin crash coming, which is why I told you guys, be careful of everybody saying this is the full bull market. We're only going up from here, because we can definitely go back down, right? Here's what I'll say. What's the best chart for this? Let's just go back to the first one. All right. Right, there we go. These little red bars are where clusters appear on the Fibonacci retracement levels. And usually if you buy it when we first hit one of these clusters, if you hold on, you're usually making some good money. So you buy anywhere right here, a few days later, you're just rocking in profits. You buy right here, a few days later, you're rocking in profits. Whether you buy right here or you buy and you sell, hold up there, whatever, you're still walking with a good run of profit. Over here, same thing. You buy right here, a few days later, you're walking with profits. Right here, you buy right there, a few days later, you're walking with profits. Now, the next one that we have is right down here at 14,000. Historically, when we actually have these levels, they usually find the bottom somewhere. There was a support level around here that was a bottom. There was a support level around here as far as these clusters are concerned. And sometimes they're the bottom, sometimes they're not, but they're usually some really hard levels of resistance where we crash down to it and then we start ripping off of it real fast. The next two levels that we have here for Bitcoin are right here around $14,927, around like, let's just say 14,000, let's just say $14,000 to $15,000. You have a hard level support there. If we're lucky, that'll be the ultimate bottom of Bitcoin right there, okay? That'll be the bottom. My concern here is that if Bitcoin and the let's just bring it back to the Nasdaq. If the Nasdaq really does get so bearish that we have a let's bring this off here, there, let's make this a weekly. So what you guys are looking at again is the monthly chart. Actually, let's do it like this so you guys can see everything. 2-month chart. So a 2-month chart with the weekly moving average. So just so I can kind of squeeze everything a little bit more for you guys. If we break down below this line, that's a horrible time, a horrible time. Well, in theory here, that has enough force to bring Bitcoin down to like $10,000, maybe even as far as like $7,500, which is that next big cluster point after the 14,400. It doesn't mean we're going to hit it. We may just find a support level down here around 10,700 or so. My point is, if the Nasdaq really does come down hard, and we do have this like historical signal that says, hey, we're breaking down below the 200 weekly moving average, all hell's breaking loose, right? You're most likely going to see Bitcoin crashing down quite hard to, like I would say, at least $11,000, $12,000 level, if not down to $10,000. Now, the interesting thing here about all this is if we go over here very fast, let me just see if I can do this properly. November 8th. What day was this, the low? Yeah, November 8th. Okay. November 8th. I want to see if this works. I haven't tried it yet, but July 1st. September 3rd. Okay. If we go over here to watch list, the Dow, it didn't keep it. Ah, shucks. All right. You'll see during these same times during 2001, the Dow went down pretty hard. 2008 financial crisis, it went down very, very hard, like very, very hard, really fast. But the 200 weekly moving average is not the same as the Nasdaq and its 200 weekly moving average, right? We dropped down below it in COVID. We're testing it out right now. We dropped below it here. Didn't really mean much initially. We dropped down below it here. Didn't mean much initially, right? So it's not as accurate as what we would expect. If you go over here to the SPY, same thing. It had a bad effect, but it's not like we haven't broken down before, and it didn't lead to anything really crazy, so it's not as accurate. The Nasdaq is that really accurate signal saying, hey, if we break down below this, all hell breaks loose. But realistically, yeah, I mean, Bitcoin can go to $10,000, technically still $7,000 if the market gets that bad. I'm not convinced it's going to get that bad yet, but if it does, guess what? I'm going to start buying heavily around $7,000, $7,200 to be exact, or $7,174. I'd be buying up loads right there, because that would have to be the bottom of the market. That would have to be the market bottom. Hopefully, the market bottom will just be what we've experienced so far. If we're lucky, more likely it'll be around $15,000 to $10,000 down here. $10,000 things get really, really bad. Really bad. Things get really, really bad where like people like, really bad recession, like really, really bad, like 2008 financial levels recession look bad. Then we might be coming back to $7,200. But I think more realistically, we're going to have a pretty mild recession. Bad, but not like terrible. And that'll bring us down closer to $10,000 perhaps. But for safety right now, I think $14,000 is where I would be paying attention to next, because that's that next big level we have to stop at, consolidate, and then we'll see if the economy is so bad that it drags us down to like $11,000, $10,000, something like that. So for now, one step at a time. They're there. We know the support levels are there. We know that we might hit them. More likely to 14,000, of course, than the 7,000. But that's the hope, that we only fall down to about $14,000 max, or maybe $13 max. But we don't want to mess up too much here. What I'm looking at over the next few days, guys, is I want to stay above this Ganfin level right here. Usually these 2-to-1s can be a brat. They're really strong, but when we break down below them, they really, really suck. I'm pretty sure there's a Ganfin level over here somewhere. I don't know where it's at. There's a Ganfin level here somewhere that goes smack dab right through one of these levels here. That was like the big drop off point. I think the 2 Ganfin level I was thinking about like went right here, right? And then once you broke down below it, everything, no, it was actually right here, yeah. Once you broke down below it, everything just went really bad afterwards. 2-to-1 Ganfin levels are usually pretty strong. Hopefully we don't break down below that one. All right, there we go. Boosh, do. Meanwhile, Bitcoin's having a nice little rally over here, or a little playtime. Let's see. And hey, Carlos, happy to see you back, my man. And hey, Shannon, awesome. Thanks, Michael. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions, and thank you again for becoming a member. I really do appreciate that, very, very much so. I'm trying to figure out a way to sell my wrapped Luna I have on Coinbase. Ooh, I'm not entirely sure how to do that. I mean, honestly, what I would say is the best thing you can do is try to open up a support ticket and see if they'll be able to answer you in a very timely manner. I think they might be able to. I don't think they're having any issues right now. That might be your best bet, because I really have no idea. They might tell you something like, hey, we'll allow you to transfer it to another account or something like that, and then you have to sell it there. I don't know how it would work out, honestly, but it might be something just to send them off a quick little ticket to say, hey, please help me out, and like be really sincere about it. Like, please, 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 I've been trying so hard. I don't know what to do. This is money I need to pay for my daughter's wedding. Something. Say it like that, and you should get some help there from Coinbase. And hey, Shannon, can you repeat where to get a paper trading practice account specific to trading? Yeah. So, oh, there you go. It's a second chart, guys. It's not going to be, it's going to look just more dramatic than it is. As far as paper trading accounts, so there's a link in the description for Femex, right? And then there's also BitGet. So Femex and BitGet, I think, both have decent paper trading accounts if you want to start practicing there. For BitGet, I think it's only paper trading with Bitcoin and Ethereum, I believe. And I think Femex actually has more options as far as paper trading is concerned. Last time I checked, I have to look at the different sections here. Another way you could do it is if you're trying to learn how to trade stocks and options. TD Ameritrade is great. What you're looking at right here, or when I had the image earlier, that was a TD Ameritrade options page. Another way you can do it, which is easier than all those options, it's going to be to open up a paper trading account through TradingView. So my computer is going to look a little bit weird here, but let me move some stuff around. It's going to look weird, guys. I apologize, but just give me a second here. So on the bottom of my screen right now, there's this little toggle maximum chart. No, which so you maximize panel. You're gonna open that up, and you should find a way to. Okay, you're gonna see a couple tabs up here, kind of hidden behind my my streaming Monday through Friday sign. But you should see something called Trading Panel. You can kind of see that tab opening right there. Click on that, and you're gonna see all these options right here. Now, when you have all these options right here, there's going to be something called paper trading. Oh gosh, maybe I should zoom in a little bit for you guys. Paper trading by TradingView. So you just hit connect, and if you already sign in, it'll just make one up for you, really nice and easy. And then from there, you can practice trading on the same, trading on here if you want to. And you could have leverage, everything you want, nice and easy, lemon squeezy. I'd recommend paper trading on Femex or BitGet if you want to use those exchanges full time in the future, just so you have a better understanding of how they work. But if you're just getting started off in trading, just go with paper trading by TradingView. It'll be perfectly fine for you to use. It's very, very nice, very, very easy. And it's built into everything, so you don't have to worry about it as much. And then you can also connect, your TradeStation accounts, Alpaca, Optimus Futures, Forex.com, Interactive Brokers. You can connect all this stuff here, BitConnect, or Bitstamp, Gemini. You can connect all of it here if you want to do some day trading through their accounts. But yeah, that's an easy way to do it. And then from there, create a trading journal and start recording your trades. I'll do this tomorrow, guys. You guys, no, I'll do this weekend. By this weekend, I will try to figure out where I put that trading journal link at, and I'll share it with you, especially since you're a member. Just find one of my videos and message me. Hey, Michael, can I have the trading journal link? Just any one of my random videos, just a random video. I'll see the message, and I'll give you the link there. And what you're going to do is you're going to make a copy of it so you can edit the actual trading journal, and then from there test it out, have fun with it. But you'll be able to keep track of all information. The cool thing about my trading journal is it has a bunch of formulas in it, and so you can when you actually write out your trade, what trade you did, one of the things you check a box of basically is which pattern you used, and once you have enough data, it'll actually show you which patterns that you're trading are much more profitable than other patterns. So maybe you're 60% successful with head and shoulders plays, but you're 80% successful with pennant breakouts. Then you know you're going to want to put more money behind a pennant breakout than a head and shoulders play historically, right? On average. Now, as those percentages change over time, you're going to realize you probably want to update it once every month to start with a fresh sheet and just save the other one as your backup data. You're going to have much more information about what you're good at, what you're bad at. And so you can kind of keep on using that to grow and get better and better and better over time. See, and hey, Bideford, happy to see you here. You didn't miss much. Not much compared to what we talked about earlier during the day. We're just talking about whether Bitcoin's found its bottom, some of the next big support levels that we may be looking at here, and what would happen in a worst case scenario for Bitcoin. But at the we've kind of it could be bad, but at this point it doesn't look like we're going to hit that worst case scenario. The worst case scenario for Bitcoin, of course, being somewhere around like $7,500 or so. Let's hope we don't get to that level. That'd be that'd probably scar a lot of people. If Bitcoin gets to $7,000, imagine how much the altcoins will crash down. Just imagine it. I don't think we want to even imagine that right now. That'd be crazy. And hey, Garcia, how can I learn options? I mean, options are pretty complex and they take a while to learn because you're not just learning like, when to buy and when to sell. You're learning about theta, delta, gammas, and some of the other Greeks. I would say as far as options are concerned, the first thing you want to learn to do is how to trade consistently, but just buying and selling positions. So you got to learn when to short a position and then when to buy a position. And then you got to learn what options are. There's a few good tutorials on YouTube, like a few hours long. You should watch the entire tutorial. I would buy the book Options for Dummies. That's a good way to learn as well. I like to read books more than I like to watch videos, depending on the content here. Then once you do that, you're going to want to paper trade for about 4 to 5 months because options are much more volatile. You want to actually take the time to learn how to do this properly. And then you're going to start to see what success, are you successful? Are you not successful? What's causing you to make money, lose money? And then once you've been trading for practicing for about maybe 4 to 5 months there, you're going to spend about 1 month practicing with low amounts of money. And the goal for this here is you're probably going to start swing trading first and not day trading, as day trading is a little more risky. You're probably going to learn how to do swing trading. And then once you do some swing trading here, you're going to learn to see if your emotions can handle losing money. And if it can, then you can start investing more money and start, enjoying the profits and, kind of fine tuning your craft until you're making really good, consistent profits. But you have to get used to the emotions. I don't know if I have a picture of the trades. Let me see if I can find one here. Go to my photos here. Yeah, so okay. So you see that, let's just take NVIDIA, for instance. NVIDIA was up 1,000% at this point in time. When I finally sold it, there was about $7,200 of profit there, okay? Well, this was taken on, when was this picture taken? When was this picture taken? I don't know. Thursday? Oh, so that's not that. So that was a few days ago, right? So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days ago. Okay, so 6 days ago, and then so August 25th. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 days or about, it's probably not that close, but basically, as I'm looking at one of these old pictures, I'll just be frank. You see that the Netflix, to be the Nvidia, was currently up $7,200. Well, a few days before that, it was down about $630. Okay, so I was down $630. I had to continue holding throughout the whole mess of like, wow, I just lost $630 to get to that that's, that $7,200 profit level. So you got to take some time to do it, but it's worth it in the end if you can learn how to trade options. But it's not something that I can just say, hey, here's how you trade options. It's something that takes quite a bit of time, and it's very, very time consuming, honestly. But it's like one of those things. Once you get it done, you're happy and fine. If you can't get it done, you just got to keep on working hard at it, but it takes time. It's not something that you learn overnight. See. And no worries, Shannon. Happy to help you out. Let me know if you have any more questions there. And hey, D-Man, what would be my top 3 exchanges? If you're out of the country, I think Femex is probably the best one for you guys. If you're in the United States, since Femex isn't allowed there, I would say BitGet is something I like a lot. I think I have a link for BitGet. I'll see if I still have it down there. I might have replaced it with something else since Femex is the sponsor of the channel now. If you guys go to any of my tutorial videos, you see the BitGet link if you want to click on it. And the third one would probably either be Bytebit if you're outside the country, or Binance, because Binance is very simple. I would say Binance and KuCoin are probably tied. They're both really good exchanges. They both have a lot of capital. I don't see them having any monetary issues anytime soon. So that's really nice to know. But yeah, I would say those are a few good ones out there. There are other ones like apps like Robinhood or Webull if you want to go down that path. I tend not to want to go down the app path when I'm thinking of long-term holdings or even just swing trading and day trading. But there are people that do, and they like doing it. So find out what works best for you. But I would usually say Femex, BitGet, KuCoin, Binance are a few that I would highly recommend. Same with Bybit as well. KuCoin, yeah. And hey, DMAC, when in cash, do you prefer to stay in any particular stablecoin or just USD? I prefer USD if possible. Then I prefer UDSC. Then I prefer UDST. UDSC and UDST are pretty similar though, so I don't really I'm not going to be like a freak out if I can't find one or the other. But those are the two I trust. I don't actually use any other stablecoins besides those two. Preferably though, I prefer to use cash, and that's only because a lot of exchanges have cash as something that's insured, while they will not have their crypto be insured. A good example of this is that on Voyager, I warned people about Voyager a few weeks, I think it was like a week or two before they went bankrupt, or they went through bankruptcy proceedings, because I was like, hey, everybody, we just saw Celsius go under. Voyager's having some issues. We don't know if it's actually going to amount to anything, but it's better safe than sorry was my kind of language there. So speaking from experience, I had $500 left of STMX in there just because I wanted to get my little, I was being a little frugal, and I just wanted to get my little interest payment for it. Backfired because I took all my other money out there, but not my STMX. So I have like $500 of STMX kind of in the bank account right now, in Voyager. But then all of my, I don't have cash in Voyager, but there are people who have cash in Voyager, and those people have been able to get their cash out, but they have not been able to get their crypto out. So if any of the exchanges I'm in have problems, I at least know that I'm going to be able to get my cash out, even if I'm not able to get my crypto out, which will be very, very nice. But, to be frank, as you guys know, a lot of my crypto and my longer term accounts are all in offline hard wallets, so I don't have to really worry about it getting hacked or losing it or it belonging to an exchange. Because if you have crypto on an exchange, it's not yours. It belongs to the exchange, and you're just holding it and trading the value of it. Which I think there should be a law saying that any crypto you buy on an exchange is your crypto. It's yours. I think that's a regulation that should be put in place, frankly, but I don't think it's going to be put in place anytime soon. But if I was to lobby my local congresswoman or congressman, I have Patty Murray, so she's a congresswoman here from the Senate. I would say, hey, can you make it so the fact that in order to do business in America, if somebody buys crypto off an exchange, it belongs to them. It cannot be used in any bankruptcy proceedings to help the company get out of trouble. But you know, right now, you know, of course, all the people that had money trapped in Celsius, all the people that had money trapped in Voyager, all the crypto, it's gone. They're only gonna get pennies on the dollar. I'm only gonna get pennies on the dollar for my $500, and I just have to accept that. Luckily, I took the thousands of dollars I had out there besides that, but still, you know, still not good. Let's see. And hey, Kona, you think Bitcoin's about to dump? I mean, right now we had a flag. We broke down out of that flag. We're just kind of trickling down at the moment. We're going to reach another relative high here, then probably come back down a little bit more. But yeah, I think everybody's just waiting for the next couple of weeks to see what happens with Jerome Powell. But the Nasdaq and, you know, the stock market's not looking too bright right now. We've had a few different breakdowns in a row. We'll have to see how bad everything gets. But, you know, I think what's really worrying the average investor out there as far as the stock market is just what's going on in Europe. Europe is having some really bad issues right now as far as energy is concerned, and that's going to cause some problems for them down the road here. I wish everything was going better in Europe, but like everybody in America, frankly, thinks that Europe's going to have like a really bad recession, and it's going to be like bad because of the high energy prices, how they're already trying to think of how they can cap prices, which is like a horrible thing to do. Capping prices is not the capitalistic thing to do, and it really it usually just has unforeseen consequences when people do that people don't think about. But I mean, if that's what they got to do, that's what they got to do, right? I'm not a politician in Europe. I have no idea how the systems work. Maybe it's better that they do it that way. But you know, in America, oh shit, it would not fly. I think if we can have any positive news coming out of Europe over the next few weeks, that would go a long way to make the stock market in America feel a little bit more at ease. But until they can get their energy prices back down, you know, it's going to be very hard to see, you know, everybody having a good kumbaya moment at the end of the year. I don't know how much energy prices have been, though. Let me see. Energy up in see. So this is from Euronews.next. I don't actually know this website, but let me just kind of read a little bit of what I'm seeing. Spiraling inflation has sparked a cost of living crisis across Europe, and the governments are stepping in to try to shield thousands of households and businesses from the seemingly never-ending surge of energy prices. For many families these days, it feels like paychecks are immediately evaporating as inflation drives up the cost of groceries and fuel. Landlords increase rent and utility bills keep on soaring. Inflation jumped to an all-time high of 8.9% in July in Europe for the 19 countries bound by the euro, fueled by rising energy costs. Okay, let me see right here. Let's see. A study by the University of York predicts that over half of all UK households will be trapped into fuel poverty by January of 2023, and the cost of living crisis in the forefront of the battle between Liz Truss and Rishi Shank, I guess as politicians, as the country's new prime minister. So, I mean, basically, guys, you know how we were feeling the pinch when our gas prices were going up and people didn't have the money to go do stuff what they wanted to go do. And that led to businesses not having a lot of money to go, you know, pay their staff or keep up, you know, stay up and running, yada, yada, yada. Thereby raising the prices so they can kind of stay open and things like that. Europe is having that, but like way worse at this point, right? And Europe is already used to having higher energy prices than America. America has relatively good energy prices, or I guess we did, I guess, up to like 2019, 2020, we had decent energy prices. You can tell they've been going up a little bit due to the war. America's energy policies kind of shifted a little bit, as you guys know. So, not we're we're not as bad as Europe right now, but we could always get that bad, I guess. But luckily, we don't get our energy from Russia, which is a good thing here. But that's going to be the big thing that's going to really hit us hard here over the next few months if Europe can't find a way to get energy fast enough, and I don't think they are going to be able to do that. And hey, Alex, any long-term stocks that you like or recommend? I've been looking into buying shares of Palantir. I think Palantir is fine. Honestly, these are going to sound very traditional, but like Apple, Google's something I'm really going to go heavy into. Robinhood. Nvidia is going to be massive over the next 20 years. AMD is going to be fantastic. Stay away from Intel. Stay away from Intel. I mean that they grow, but they just grow so freaking slow. Anything related to the semiconductor sector, you buy that. Again, like Apple, Google, Warner Brothers, you want to buy that. They're going to have a good sector down the road. I guess it's going to be like Warner Brothers Discovery. I don't know what the official ticker name is, but I'm looking at that right now. While I was looking at it like 2 weeks ago. I like with Warner Brothers and some of those guys, they've been merging. I think Discovery merged with CNN, and Discovery has been purging a lot of the more progressive voices in CNN. So they're trying to make CNN more fair and balanced. Regardless if you guys are left and right, I don't care, as you guys know. But CNN is a pretty leftward leaning organization at this moment in time. I think they used to be, when I was a kid, I think they used to be a lot more neutral from what I remember. They had the talking heads that kind of argued back and forth, but you felt like the middle, the anchor might have been like leftward leaning, but not like progressive, if that makes sense. And so I think they're going to try to rebrand CNN into the future. And I think that's going to be very, very good for CNN down the road, because I think CNN is just kind of turned into, like, I tried to watch CNN the other day, and it's just like, I think I watched it for 2 hours straight just to try to see how, like, the news, like, learn news. Like, of the 2 hours, besides commercials, like 90% of it was about Donald Trump. And so I really didn't learn anything there. I think from a political standpoint, not political, sorry, a value standpoint, if they like can find a way to stop always talking about Trump and kind of go back down to that middle of the road, they can even be left of center but not progressive. That would still make them more profitable and make Discovery, who owns it, them much more money down the road. So that's what I'm kind of hoping for them. That's kind of a more tangible kind of thought process, if you will. I think they got rid of Brian Stelter, who was that guy was weird. They also got rid of some other dude, I think, over the past few days. I think I saw it on Twitter. But that Discovery is going to be something really, really big. Anything else I'm holding or for the long term here, or looking to buy for the long term? Tesla is always something there. I'm trying to find out which companies are going to benefit from this next green energy revolution. Oddly enough, the only ones I've really been able to find so far that have been making consistent profits have been energy companies like oil and big oil. So I will recommend buying up a lot of energy down the road. But yeah, that's about it as far as what I'm looking at right now. I'm going to be heavy in tech after all this dust has settled from all these crashes and bearish markets and stuff. Things like Palantir, Rivian, they're fine. They'll do okay. I have money plopped into them, but I still think that tech overall is just going to be a much better place to keep your money. And then I'll have some dividend plays, maybe some healthcare plays, and healthcare is actually going to be very, very good during this recession. Healthcare. But yeah, for the most part, it's in tech. Let's see it. And hey, Tony, helium is going nuts too. Hope you make some money off of it. And hey, Christine, I paid over double on electric this summer over last year. Oh my gosh, that sucks. I mean, you guys know I don't drive that much. I don't have to drive to work or do anything like that, since I kind of just walked from my bedroom into my desk and I just kind of work and listen to music behind me. Oh, I have my, what's that say, Marantz? Oh, it's my my receiver. But yeah, I have the luxury of not having to drive, which is a very nice luxury. I do know people that commute every day to Seattle, and they have to pay a bunch of money. When I had to commute to work from Seattle to Seattle, I think I like spent like $15 a day, but I was using the train, and that was like another like $2 a day, maybe on gas, maybe like $5 a day. So it was like, you know, it was like close to $20 a day traveling, which isn't too bad when I was like maybe like a half an hour to 15 minutes worth of my payday, I guess you could say. But still, not everybody has that luxury of getting paid like corporate levels. Let's see. And hey, Tony, H&T 15-minute keep on engulfing each other. Do I even have H&T on here? I don't think I do. What's it here? Oh, there's a nice little pattern being made though. Get ready to see which way this thing goes. It's kind of nice right now because you have the opportunity for a breakout, but you also have the opportunity at this moment in time for a bottom neckline break and breakout. I would say it's most likely going to consolidate longer than breakout. I think it's too short of a consolidation period for a double bottom, but you'd want to see more of a reversal than the double bottom, than the pop off. But yeah, this looks pretty interesting right here. That's going to be pretty fun. There we go. All right. Yeah, no worries, Alex. There's a lot of different stocks out there, but usually like Google's, the tech plays, those are going to just be the easy money makers. Tesla's a really strong one. Spend some time. I literally have a video out there called 22 Finviz scanners for consistent profits. And that's what the name of it is. Watch that video. I think one of the scanners is like long-term holds. And so, hold on. Buy and hold value. So right now, the only one that's popping up on this is TKR, the Temkin company, 4.86 billion valuation, small short float, not bad at all. Yeah, that's already kind of popping up though. You don't want to chase that sucker, but it looks like it's making money here, and that's all that matters. Yeah, earnings per share this year 28%. That's a nice one. Let's see. High earnings growth, charts, ADMA, that's biotech. I don't play with biotech. 9 Energy, this one is actually a good play here. This is something I'm actually in for the next, like, hopefully, like, I want to hold this one until November at least, and then I'm going to look to scale out around maybe mid in November into December as like energy prices go up because of heat and stuff like that. But 9 is something I'm looking at right now personally. Small market cap, around $100 million market cap. You're going to see a lot of these are gas, health services. That one's actually not doing too bad. Gas, specialty chemicals, gas, internet retail. Oh, that's China. Okay, I'm staying away from China. But a lot the companies that are making a lot of money right now, they're gas, and don't be afraid to you want to most likely buy the bottom here, but there's opportunities. Run is something right here. This is solar. This is something that you guys might be interested in. Now, I'm only interested in Run just because it's green energy, and I think the government's going to throw money at them, frankly. I don't really think solar power is the way of the future. Maybe I'm just old fashioned, I don't know, but I'm like, I think we need nuclear power. I think if we can have a grid based on nuclear power, I think we're going to be much better off. Nuclear power has come a long way over the past few decades, so I think it's like a really good thing. We have nuclear power out here in Washington. I think like 50 miles away from me or something like that, we have a nuclear power plant. Let me see. I don't know if I can actually find this or not. Here's like a picture of it, basically, right? So we have a couple, and they work just fine. So, what I'm going to be looking at also is uranium enrichment companies that kind of put everything together to go into the actual reactors, all that good stuff. I'm not a nuclear specialist here, but that's kind of my, you get what I'm saying. So nuclear power is something I'm going to be interested in down the road as well. But I don't know when we're going to like be honest with ourselves and say, hey, solar is not going to get the job done. Wind isn't going to get the job done. We're going to have to go down a nuclear path. Until we hit that point, I'm just kind of loading up for the long term of some of these uranium companies. Let's see. Oh, SQ is a good one right there as well. SQ is a good one right there. PayPal, I feel like PayPal. I personally just don't buy PayPal stock because I literally hate the company PayPal. I hate the website. I hate everything about them. But they make money if you hold, especially during a bull market. FTNT as well. Cloud companies, they kind of fits in the balloon of tech, but if you want to go through a niche, cloud companies are going to be a very strong buy for me. A lot of cloud companies out there. Amazon is part of that as well. Amazon, with the little smiley face thing. How do I feel about Tectonic? I would buy and hold as part of the cycle. Besides that, I don't feel anything special about the company or the project. But as far as the cycle, it looks like it has a good following. The business is fine as far as like communications and social media, but there's nothing pizzazzy there for me, I guess I would say. But long term, buy, hold, play the cycle, make some money. See, and hey Alex, it's a very dry and boring video because I made it a long time ago. Maybe I should make another video just kind of making it a little bit easier and a little bit faster. But it looks like this. Right here. Yeah, 22 setting, Finviz screener settings for consistent profits. So if you want to do me a favor, go to Finviz, just type in Finviz scanner on YouTube and scroll down till you see the video, then watch it. It helps me rank up in search results. So please, if you can, click on it and then click Finviz scanner and just click on that video. Guys, it helps me out way more than you guys imagine. This is all like a one big ranking battle. And I'm competing with guys that have 34,000 views, 128,000 views, 51,000 views, and my video is small. It's only like 2.6 thousand views, but it's ranking. It's above the 500,000 video. It's above the 836 video, 21,000, 10,000. So it's a good quality video, but I just don't have the best thumbnail. So please consider clicking on it and helping me out if you guys can. But yeah, a lot of scanners. I'll make a new video for you guys down the road. So which should be good to go. And yeah, PayPal sucks. I barely ever use it. Yeah, I just hate it so much. And hey, Puni, Luna Classic, have fun on it if you want to. It is a very extremely risky play. It will crash eventually. And when it crashes, a whole bunch of people are going to lose money. Just make sure you walk away with a profit or at least a minimal loss. Don't risk too much on this play because it is just a YOLO play. It will come back down. And when it comes back down, there's going to be a whole bunch of people that lose money. Just make sure you're not one of the people that lose money. Have some fun with it if you can, but don't invest too much money into it if that's my personal opinion on it. Let's see. And thanks, Tony. I appreciate it, guys. And if you guys want to do one more video for me as well, I just put out my first long form video that's like not totally about crypto and stocks. Hope you guys could watch that one as well if I could find it here. This one with Zuckerberg. The media is trying to keep this quiet. If you guys could watch that one as well, I'd really, really appreciate it. If you just like see it, like if you guys can just see it on your front page, watch it pretty please. I'm trying to figure out how the algorithm works, and I'm like testing it out. I got 1,000 views on that one, more than any of my other videos. So I did something right on it. So I'm going to be doing more longer form content in the future. So if you guys can watch that one too, I appreciate it. But okay, everybody, I'm going to end the stream right here. It's been about like a good hour and a half that I've been talking with you guys. My throat's getting a little bit more itchy, and I don't want to stress it out too much coming out of COVID here. Tomorrow I'll be live probably around like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, probably just 6 to 7, maybe 6 to 8 or something like that. But as far as what I want you guys to take away from the stream today, at this point in time, keep an eye on Bitcoin and make sure it doesn't close down below the 18,605 level. If you're going to be doing anything right now, I would say your best bet would be to buy and hope for, if on the weekly chart here, looking for something more of a double bottom. So a bottom. This is a buying zone for that. So over the next few weeks, we can actually manage to bounce back up here. That's the hope if you're buying right now. And the cool thing here well, the thing that's kind of like makes it a little bit nicer for us, magnet. Depending on what stop loss you guys want to use, your stop loss right now is going to be around like 5%. If you want to give it a little bit longer stop loss, it's going to be about an 8% stop loss, which isn't too bad if you think about it, because if we buy right now and it comes back up to like the over here to do a double top, or we just run back up to the 200 weekly moving average, you're looking at about 20% profit. So the risk really does outweigh, the reward outweighs the risk, excuse me. So that's going to be something you guys may be looking at. But right now, guys, this is double bottom territory. Give yourself a stop loss. I am not buying right now. I just don't feel as comfortable as I want to see this right now. So if we can finish off the week relatively okay, closer to Sunday, then yeah, I'll probably end up buying. I may not have the same opportunity of a good price like I might have had today or yesterday. That's fine. I'm just waiting to build up myself a little more security, because overall, I'm still very, very worried about this death cross happening with the 20-week moving average crossing down below the 200 weekly moving average for the first time in Bitcoin's entire history. I have no idea what's going to happen there, but that's too much uncertainty for me to feel confident in. I'm hoping that Bitcoin can bounce just because we need the Nasdaq to stay above its own 200 weekly moving average to avoid that nasty crash that comes on, you know, like we've had 2001 and we had 2008. Okay. Let's see. And hey, Ken, I will be doing more YouTube shorts as well. Thanks for reminding me. I did 2 today. I don't think they've taken off just yet, but I'll look for them a little bit later. The YouTube shorts have been doing well. One of you even got like 16,000 views, so that's really cool as well. So okay, everybody, I'll see you guys tomorrow. You guys might even see me 2 times tomorrow, most likely, as I kind of get back into the rhythm of things, and then I'll start working on some more videos here, and I will do an update video. I will do an update video for you guys as far as those FinViz scanner numbers. So watch that video tonight, Tony, if you can, and then I'll make sure to do another longer form video where I'm standing up and saying, hey, everybody, you know, more energy. This is what I need you guys to do. Here's what you guys, here's 22. You know what I do? I'll break it up into 10. So I'll do one video 10, another video 10. Maybe I'll do 11. I'm not entirely sure. Just 2 scanners I could probably toss out there. But I'll do 10 scanners you have to know, 10 scanners you have to know, and I'll do 2 separate A/B tests on them, and then I'll see what one worked better, so I can actually have better influence, a better understanding of what my channel can do better down in the future. Okay, as far as the algorithm. But okay, everybody, have a good rest of your night. And thanks, guys, so much for watching. Loki's over here like staring me down because he wants to go outside. So here, you can say goodbye to Loki. Loki. There you go. He saw himself.